What's happening, guys? This is the Grandmaster of Faster, and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Stadium for the Nintendo 64. 4 gym leaders down, and 4 to go. Time to conquer the Fuchsia Gym Tower that's headed by Koga, the poisonous ninja master. So I hope you're prepared to deal with some status ailments. However, you're not going to just be dealing with poison, you'll also have to deal with sleep and confusion and paralysis as well. Yeah, things might get a little annoying here, but as I always say, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So let's gain something. And by gaining something, I mean a victory over the Fuchsia Gym. Anyway, first trainer is going to be the Juggler. I'm gonna want to lead off with Rhydon against this guy because of his 2 electric types, but he also has some psychic Pokemon as well. Tauros will do well against them. And let's bring in Exeggutor. Well, actually no, we're gonna bring in Jolteon for backup because it's got Pin Missile.
Here comes the first opponent. An easy victory should be within reach.
Well, with this matchup, it might not be within reach. He's leading off with his Mr. Mime, which is a psychic type, and the only moves it has are Mimic, Metronome, and Seismic Toss. This guy loves to use Mimic and Metronome. His entire strategy is based around using random moves and using your own moves against you. And thankfully I managed to paralyze him in my first attack, which is really good, because Mr. Mime is much faster than Rhydon. Now let's see if I can knock it out. Yes, I can!
Is it down and out?
Alright, things are looking up. A strong start. And Pokemon number 2 is going to be Electabuzz. Well, I'm just fine with that. Electabuzz is an electric type. Its moves are Substitute, Metronome, and Toxic. Kind of an interesting set of moves there. It'll try and use Substitute a lot, which means it can block 1 attack. Unfortunately, the downside of using Substitute is that you have to sacrifice some of your HP. So I'm going to keep up my little Earthquake marathon. Either it will one-hit KO Electabuzz, or Electabuzz will KO itself from excessive uses of Substitute. A lot of people don't understand what the purpose of Substitute is. It's a move that you can ideally use to protect yourself against a non-damaging attack. I guess you can say that a couple generations forward, Taunt is the polar opposite of Substitute, which is a move that forces your opponent to use attacking moves, or damaging moves, I should say. Okay, and it's poisoned me. Well, no matter, Electabuzz is still going down in this round, and indeed it does. 2 of his Pokemon are down, and mine are still at full health. This is good. I like this. Let's keep this rhythm going. Electrode is the final Pokemon. And unlike his other team members, this Pokemon has a full moveset. It is Electric type with the moves Mimic, Substitute, Thunder Wave, and Double Team. Obviously, you'll want to watch out for Thunder Wave and excessive spamming of Double Team, but it can't really take a ground hit, as you can plainly see there. So the first trainer of the gym is taken down with no trouble at all, really. I didn't lose a single bit of HP on this guy. That's a nice turn of events. But of course, we still have 3 more trainers to go. So I'm not sure how long I can keep this rhythm going. Alright, let's move on to round 2. We are in round 2 of round 2. That seems very logical. Anyway, this guy is the Tamer, as you can tell from his name. Yes, I am not making any sense once again. Alright, this guy kind of has an interesting tactic. I am going to lead off with Starmie. And just in case that Machamp shows up, I'm going to bring Alakazam and Exeggutor as backup.
Here's the second adversary. The challenger needs to stay calm to earn victory.
I'll especially need to stay calm against this team. He's leading off with his Persian. Persian is very fast. It's a normal type with the moves Slash and Bubble Beam. That's it. This guy is all about using moves with a high critical hit ratio. And because of how critical hits work in Gen 1, they were mostly determined by a Pokemon's speed. Thunder Wave is going to be your best friend here. Persian does have really good speed, but its other stats are kind of mediocre. And I would use Rhydon against it if it weren't for the fact that it had Bubble Beam. Yeah, you see how much damage that Slash attack did. And that was including the critical hit bonus and the stab bonus. Thankfully, I got a critical hit with Blizzard and KO'd it all the same. You gotta feel a little sorry for Persian and the cry it makes when it faints. I mean, kind of makes me feel depressed, but we have to move on. We're moving on to his Scyther, another very fast Pokemon. Scyther is a bug and flying type, and it is armed with the moves Slash, Agility, Wing Attack, and Double Team. It's the only Pokemon he has that has 4 moves. And of course, I missed on that Blizzard, and he got a critical hit with Slash. The time has come for me to recover. I think that's going to be my best bet. So while I restore my HP, he's probably going to use Slash again, is he? How did I not see that coming? Alright, well, this cycle is probably going to continue, so I might as well try for another Blizzard. I guess it couldn't hurt. This is one Pokemon where Rhydon really would have come in handy. But what the hey. I've got plenty more Pokemon where Starmie came from. Alright, so Starmie chokes. I honestly wish it could have stayed around a little longer. But I suppose Alakazam will have to pick up the slack. Now, Scyther only has 49 HP. Theoretically, a Psychic attack should KO it. Although, now that I think about it, I could have played it safe with Seismic Toss. But then again, this is Alakazam we're talking about, the special Juggernaut. And that really is the best way to describe Alakazam in Generation 1, an absolute Juggernaut. Almost nothing can stop it. Well, aside from a really strong normal type. Sandslash is his third Pokemon. This shouldn't be too bad. Sandslash is a ground type with the moves Sand Attack, Slash, and Rock Slide. It's got some alright defense, and its attack is fair as well. Nowhere near as good as Golem or Rhydon's, though. And yeah, that definitely did a fair amount of damage, but a Psychic attack will KO it all the same. I gotta say, Koga, so far your trainers aren't proving to be very big challenges. Especially in comparison with the last gen, because, oh boy, Erica's trainers definitely gave me a run for my money, that's all I'll say, if you haven't seen the video. But we must move on, and forget about those we have defeated. Time to fight the third and final gym trainer. And I just realized something. Cerebi has this completely wrong. It lists Biker as the first trainer and Juggler as the third, but the Biker is in fact the third trainer. You gotta love those errors, don't you? Well, this guy, unlike his comrades, has a bunch of poison types with him, so naturally Alakazam and Exeggutor are going to be prime choices. However, I'm gonna want to bring Jolteon as well.
It's the gym's third opponent. The gym leader is waiting right after this.
Alright, he is going to lead off with his Tentacruel. Tentacruel is a water and poison type. It is armed with the moves Acid, Supersonic, Wrap, and Toxic. You'll definitely need a fast Pokemon to take down this Tentacruel, lest you suffer from Wrap spamming, but its first move is almost always going to be Toxic. Every one of this guy's Pokemon, with the exception of Ditto for obvious reasons, knows Toxic, so he is packing a lot of poison on his team. But he's not sending out a poison type this time. Now we have to deal with his Jynx. Jynx is an Ice and Psychic type. It is armed with the moves Toxic, Psychic, Ice Punch, and Takedown. I am going to switch on over to Jolteon because I had a feeling he was going to bring his Jynx. Alright, now I hope that Jolteon can take care of this thing because Jynx is surprisingly fast and it's a decent special attacker. It's not often thought as such, but it is. Now, thankfully, it doesn't have Lovely Kiss. Otherwise, that would be really irritating. So I'm just going to hit it with a Thunderbolt because Jynx does have rather bad defenses. So it shouldn't be able to take too many of them. Then again, it's just going to strike me back with Psychic. Oh, and a critical hit stabbed Psychic as well. That's painful. That is very painful. Alright, can you get him down, get her down, I should say. Alright, it's down to 80 HP, which means Alakazam will be able to revenge kill this Jynx with Seismic Toss. I had hoped that Jolteon would have stayed a little bit longer, but what the hey. Alright, although Alakazam is poisoned, it is my best bet in taking down this Jynx.
Here's a Pokemon.
Alright.
Oh, it's poison. Will it be okay?
Well, for now it's okay, Mr. Announcer, but it's still at close to full health. But anyway, this Seismic Toss is going to KO Jynx, which is good. I would have to say that Jynx is probably his most powerful Pokemon, since it's not vulnerable to Psychic types. Alright, is he going to send out Tentacruel? No, he's going to go for Ditto. Okay. Alright. So I am going to go ahead and... I'm actually going to switch to Exeggutor because my Alakazam has Thunder Wave, and I don't want this Ditto using Thunder Wave against me when it transforms. So Ditto is going to transform into Exeggutor. And yeah, I think this is just going to be a straight up Psychic Brawl. And that should be rather interesting. Okay, I need to reduce its HP at least somewhat. Thankfully, I have much higher HP than he does. But this is definitely going to be a war of attrition. So we're just going to keep on using Psychic. Alright, Special Fell, that's always good. Yeah, I apologize that we're not showing any more original. Oh, how did you get a critical hit, sir? How did you get a critical hit? You and I have the exact same speed. Well, not exactly. Oh, you're gonna go boom! You're gonna go boom, huh? Well, that's gonna KO me and Ditto at the same time. But honestly, I think that worked out for the best because I know his last Pokemon. And I know I have the advantage, and I'm close to full health. So unless something beyond crazy happens, this battle should theoretically be mine. And I know I'm faster than Tentacruel, so let's have it then. Alakazam, use your psychic attack and take it down. Awesome! That's the way to do it! Well, we only had one Pokemon left, but that battle turned out to be a little bit more tactical than I thought it would. Still, we won, and that's all that matters. And now, for the main event. Alright, Koga, let's see what you've got. Well, true to his nature, he does have a lot of poison types. So obviously, Alakazam is a prime choice. But he also has some grass Pokemon. So I'm going to bring Tauros along for the ride, because it can use Blizzard while at the same time not be affected by his grass attacks. The question is, who am I going to send out? I'm going to bring Exeggutor, just in case Alakazam should go down. Unfortunately, Rhydon is sort of difficult to use, because a lot of his Pokemon have grass attacks.
The next battle is versus Koga, the Fuchsia Gym Leader and the Master of Poison Pokémon. Can the challenger do anything about the effects of poison?
Alright, this should be an interesting matchup, I think. He's starting off with his Hypno. Hypno is a psychic type with the moves Hypnosis, Psychic, Counter, and Seismic Toss. Kind of a similar idea behind my Alakazam.
Awesome counter.
Alright, thankfully he decided to waste his turn using Counter. Now 4 Seismic Tosses should be enough to do the job. Oh, he's switching! Okay. Alright, he's gonna go for Parasect. I don't know why he's doing that. Maybe because it wants to use Slash, I don't know. In any case, Parasect is a bug and grass type. It is at it is either at level 50 through 100, you know the drill. But most importantly, it is armed with the moves Spore, Slash, Mega Drain, and Growth. It didn't turn out to be much of an issue, apparently. Poor choice, Koga. I'm sorry, you're proving to be pretty easy so far. Parasect, however, does have Spore, and that can put you to sleep, which is irritating. As I said before, Koga is all about using status effects to whittle down your Pokemon and then finish them off. Kind of uses a strategy similar to Agatha in the mainstream Pokemon games. And yeah, it looks like this is going to be a straight-up Seismic Toss match. So I'm going to go and use Seismic Toss one more time. I'm surprised he hasn't put me to sleep, because usually that's what Hypno attempts to do. Alright, it's going to use Seismic Toss on me again. And since I am below 91 HP, I'm going to have to use Recover. Hypno doesn't really have any attacks that are particularly effective against other psychic types. So I think I can expect it to just use Seismic Toss over and over and over again. And in all honesty, Alakazam is the best Pokemon for me to use against this Hypno. Now, if you don't have any psychic types, ground Pokemon will also work well against Koga's poison Pokemon. Beware, however, that he does have a lot of grass type moves. Alright, I think one more Seismic Toss should do it, provided it hits, of course. And there we go, down goes Hypno. And it just falls over with its arms still extended, like it's still holding its pendulum. Alright, Venomoth. Venomoth is at level 100, at least in this case it is. It is a bug and poison type with the moves Mega Drain, Stun Spore, Psychic, and Hyper Beam. I have to admit, that's a pretty good moveset for a Venomoth. So I gotta give Koga credit. Well, Hyper Beam is gonna KO me, but I think that might be a blessing in disguise because it's gonna waste a turn recharging. Alakazam, you done good. You done very good, my friend.
The next Pokemon is being prepped.
I have 2 Pokemon left, and I'm fairly confident that I can eliminate Venomoth once and for all thanks to Exeggutor. I am slower, but it needs to waste a turn recharging. So I have to thank it for using Hyper Beam. Alright, another Psychic Blast, and down goes the Venomoth. And with that, Koga has been defeated. Yeah, overall, Koga was not much of a challenge. So it was nice to have a breather for a change in round 2. Fuchsia Gym Tower has been cleared. Received the key from Koga and opened Sabrina's tower. So next time on Let's Play Pokemon Stadium, we are going to be battling against the matriarch of psychic Pokemon, Sabrina. See you guys next time. Hey, did you like what you saw? Then be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter for updates on my videos. Also, do you want to record LP videos like me? Then check out my kit page for my go-to equipment for recording.